Hey everybody, this is Jack. It is I think it's May 10th now. It's like the middle of the night, like 1 in the morning. But you know what? I feel the need to make a video because some big happenings have happened. And that sounds really redundant, but I haven't had any sleep again. So you're going to just get probably whenever I have to do these videos, it'll probably be on days that I don't have sleep. So just expect them to sound really, really stupid, but whatever. As long as you get the point. So anyways, Trump has fired Comey. Bravo. That is something that I have been requesting for a very, very long time. Like since last year, since like before Trump ever became president, okay? That is something I want to talk about because right now there are a bunch of things going on Twitter and probably God knows everywhere else calling for Trump's impeachment because he canned Comey. Okay. There are many reasons to ask to impeach Trump, but firing Comey is not one of them, people, okay? So I kind of wanted to talk about that. Hopefully this will make sense. If it doesn't, oh well, I've got my coffee here and we'll just be sipping Starbucks as we go because I needed something to keep me going, so here we go. Here's the thing. A lot of people are thinking that this is implicative of Trump being guilty. I say not at all, and I'm going to explain to you why. First of all, like I told you when I began this, I haven't been a fan of Comey for a very long time. Last year, there were things that he had said and stuff that he did that very much made me speculative about his motive and his involvement as well. And so, when I seriously wanted him out of there a long time ago. In fact, I think I even wrote somebody about that a year ago saying that he needed to go. So, this is not just a Trump thing, okay? Comey's been there a long time. The FBI has been around a long time. And you got to remember something. The FBI, Director Comey, with what he did with Hillary Clinton's emails, when he released that statement saying he was reopening the investigation right before the election. When he did that, like it or not, say what you want, but the consensus is that really cost Hillary the election. We all know that that election was practically in the bag. It was the most unexpected thing that Comey did that, as well as the most unexpected thing that Trump won. I'm not blaming Trump for that. I don't think Trump even knew that this was part of. I think Trump is a bit being used as a bit of a pawn, not right now, but I think that was the intention. If you really want my honest opinion, I think that that was what was going on for ulterior motives. You had Russia back in 2000. I think it was 2015 or maybe it was 2016. Who even cares anymore? Putin was saying, yes, I want Trump to win, blah, 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 blah. Say what you want. It was in Russian and it was translated and yada, 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 yada. I saw the video. And I had people trying to tell me it didn't happen until I quoted the exact thing. And they're like, oh, yeah, we remember seeing that. Pfft, yes, of course. I mean, if I was Putin, I would have wanted somebody who agreed with my country to win too. You know what I'm saying? Duh. It's just kind of like logical. Everyone acts like it's some big conspiracy, and it's like, well, if you really have a brain, it's really not that big of a conspiracy. The conspiracy is the shit that's going on behind the sidelines, which is the stuff that I believe that Comey was involved in, which I don't mind discussing at this point. So basically, you've got this situation. Sorry, it's going to be all over the place. You've got this situation where you've got Comey, who said these investigations were closed, then coming back in and opening the investigation right before voting time. The week before. Most unbelievable thing ever. And then, of course, it leads to no avail. And they didn't, if I remember correctly, they didn't even believe that the Russia thing was a problem. And it most certainly was. Okay? I had been paying attention to it since 2015, as well as other people who had like half a brain. And it certainly was a problem. And for the people that weren't paying attention, you dropped the ball. Okay, that's all I've got to say about it, because plenty of citizens were paying attention and trying to inform individuals that there were problems. Plenty of citizens, I being one of them. So you fuckers dropped the ball, okay? And I think we know where those fingers need to point without saying further ado. And I'm sorry. I ain't gonna play this game with y'all tonight. All right, you can blame Trump all you want for this, but that is not where the demon sits. Okay, it might but not this one. This is a whole nother fish. Okay, we got lots of fish, but this is a different fish. So let's not confuse our fish here. And I'm telling you right now. So he goes and does this. It costs Hillary the election, right? And then, Hillary. Then all of a sudden it's like, oh wait, maybe Russia is a problem now, and he's flipping sides. He's flipping sides to fit whatever suits his fancy, to keep his butt in power. Think about it. It really isn't that hard. But then now who's on the hot seat? Trump's on the hot seat. Not originally. Not originally, even though there was investigations going on and they pretended like nothing was going on. Okay, well, they tanked Hillary's election. If that isn't obvious, I don't know what to tell you people. I mean, I think the problem that we're having with the country is this. And I can't believe I'm even going to say this because half the time I'm saying people are just fucking evil and I can't stand them. But I honestly think there are a lot more good people in this world than even I realized. Because I think the problem is seeing crime go on right in front of your eyes. It's almost like people can't even believe that that is what they're seeing. But that is what you're seeing, and that's why they do it right in front of your face. That is the whole point. That is what criminals do, because they know you're not going to believe it. They know you're going to go, that can't be right. This is an FBI director. He must be doing something right. No. How many people have power that are criminals? Think about this. It isn't rocket science, but it's very hard to say, okay, well, to break out of that sort of structured mold of this person has a clearance, this person is a director. They want you to march in that robot line. I want you to think about something right now. Comey has single-handedly, I got to give the guy clout, managed to turn the entire country against the two presidential candidates for this year's presidency. Single-handedly. No matter who you wanted to vote for, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't, if you think about it. Because he killed Hillary's chance of winning, who was supposed to win. Then you got Trump. Now what's happening? Trump fires Comey. Best decision Trump has made, in my opinion, since he has taken office. Because I've been asking for this for a long time. Best decision. Trump's done a lot of stuff I don't like, but you know what? I'm going to give him kudos for this, and I back him and support him on this 110%, and I'm making a video about it because I don't want him taking the heat for this shit, because this shit's out of his control. He needed to fire this guy. Needed to. Think about it. So now Trump's been in office for over 100 days. He has access to files. He has access to the inside information of what is going on in the FBI and the CIA. In the CIA, excuse me, when he didn't have that kind of information before. Excuse me. I told you it's a coffee night. Y'all get what you get. It's always uncut. I don't give a shit. So, he's now got access to all this stuff. He didn't have that, or at least he shouldn't have. He didn't have that stuff before he became president. Okay? Now he has full access to all of that information. So what is he able to do? He's able to observe Comey's behavior. He's able to read through the files and see what's been going on for all of this time. And also, he's able to watch Comey's responses in the hearings. And, excuse me, has everybody forgotten just how irate all of you were, even just this last week, at the responses that Comey had given you? Think about this. Okay, this guy refuses to answer for anything. Not even the most simplistic thing. Not even things that people already know. Not even things he's already said. Okay, that's unacceptable. All right, if I was FBI director, I wouldn't do that. I understand what it means to keep your fucking mouth shut. Okay, I get that. But when it comes down to just like obvious stuff, quit giving everybody the middle finger. He's doing that to say fuck you. Okay, I'm going to cover my own ass and fuck you, and I'm going to do what I want. What are you going to do? I'm the FBI director. I mean, it's like a big bully it's like a big bully at the park, okay? That's what this has been like. That's what you got, populace, when you sat there and watched him tell you nothing at all for hours. It was the most rude thing I've ever seen in my life, and thank God he's gone. Okay, that was unacceptable. George Washington's rolling over in his goddamn grave, okay? That was unfucking acceptable. Unacceptable. There was so much more that he could have said that didn't have to give anything away at all. That would have clarified a ton of stuff and would have helped people out a lot. For him to not be held accountable, so he doesn't want to say it publicly because whatever he says behind closed doors, who can counter that? Think about it. Think about it. People know what they gave him. They know the files they gave him. I'm sure they've made copies of the files, maybe even have their postal receipts of the stuff that they sent. Think about it. How can you counter something that's not public? Very simple, you don't make it public. That was Comey's plan, don't you get it? All right, you guys are upset about the fact he wouldn't tell you anything. You know, you're upset about the fact that he's mildly nauseated that he may have controlled this election. Well, yeah, of course he sure did. And now he's literally single-handedly flipped it around again so that it's all falling on Trump. Is any of the blame falling on Comey right now? Absolutely not. Everybody's calling for Trump's impeachment, for firing Comey. Do you not realize that this guy was I think he was one of 4 people in a very private setting and shit leaked hours after he left? Come on. And yet it's all coming out in his time. Where's the leaker? I think you're looking at him. Okay? And then he's the one that did what he did with the Hillary emails. He's the one who's getting on the fame high. Okay? Look at the power that this guy has had. He stopped Hillary from becoming president, and now he's killing Trump's presidency single-handedly in one swoop. The blame is not falling, America, on who it needs to fall on, and who it needs to fall on is James Comey. Not Hillary, not Trump, but Comey. Comey's actions were wrong. And I'm actually really surprised right now that certain people, even Adam Schiff, who I absolutely admire. I was kind of a bit shocked by his response because it's like he agrees that what Comey did is wrong. Violating DOJ policy, okay? He agrees. But then in the same breath, it's like, but you're firing Comey in the middle of your investigation. Well, Trump didn't ask to be investigated, okay? Let's put it this way. Have any of you ever had any friends that were criminals? Or ended up getting popped for something? Maybe y'all were just angels. Maybe you just happen to live in a bubble where you don't, ever run into anybody who ever commits any crime. Maybe you just live in perfect land. I don't know. Maybe you do. Maybe you think you do. Maybe you're just stupid. But people who associate with people might end up associating with a shit bag. Okay? Let's be real. Now, I am not saying Trump is innocent. There are many things that look very speculative about this Russia stuff. Many. But do I think all of it relates to Trump? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I think that there are certain things going on at the same time. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes you got this wheel spinning and this wheel spinning and they're all spinning at the same time and it looks like a big old conspiracy, but it's not. It's just a bunch of different things going on all at the same time. Trust me, I've seen this way too much. It's really fucking annoying, but it does happen. It's really confusing, too, when it happens, but it does happen. So that seems to maybe be the case. Maybe, potentially, because Trump had Russian ties because of the fact, obviously, didn't he sell one of his golf courses or homes or some sort of fucking thing to some Russian diplomat or something back, I don't even know when, But, so maybe people, because they knew that and because they knew he knew certain individuals, thought they could take advantage of that situation. I wouldn't be surprised, without him knowing. People do that kind of shit all the time. And I don't care if you're the president or you're some idiot down the street. Anybody can get framed for something or used for something. Anybody can get that. Now, like I said, I don't think everything Trump's done looks up and up. But to say that he's firing Comey to try to hide evidence, I think is the most complete and utter piece of hogwash I have ever heard. And let me tell you something. I have been one of Trump's worst critics, and I have had my eagle fucking eyeball on this shit since 2015 specifically. So if I'm telling you, I don't think that these two facts are related, I think you could kind of take that to the fucking bank. Okay, I'm sorry. And if you don't like my opinions, that's fine. You don't know the work I've done. So that's all I got to say about it. You want to go read files? Feel free. I don't think you do. You want to go do some research? I don't think you want to go do all the research I've done. So really, don't. You know, bring forth whatever evidence you like. I don't give a shit. I'm trying to tell you what I've seen. And I'm trying to say right now, those two facts are just completely unrelated at all. You've got a director of the FBI who's managed to sour the American people against both presidential candidates. That should scare you. You've got the same director of the FBI who managed to give you no information at all through any panel that was done. And these were public panels held by Congress and the Senate. That should very much bother you. You've got someone who has changed his mind between when one person was elected and another person was elected. That should bother you. And yet they still refuse to confirm anything. And they will not say how long they think it's going to take. That should very much bother you. That's like a free license to terrorism. Do you understand? You're trusting that he's telling you the truth and that he's doing this decently, but I want you to think about that. What if he's not? What are you giving him when you give him that? You got leaks out the wazoo going on in Washington where he has been present. That should bother you. Just as much as other stuff. But that should bother you. Okay, so back to the point. People are blaming Trump, saying that this automatically ascribes his guilt. Absolutely not. They're saying that because Comey was investigating this. Yada, 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 yada. No, because you know what? Here's the thing, first of all. Just because Comey's gone doesn't mean that his entire FBI team is gone. Wake up. Files are still there, unless people have gone and shredded them, which I'm telling you right now, I think they've done in their favor. And I don't mean Trump's favor, but their favor. Oh, yes, indeedly. Yes, indeedly. I do believe that to be very, very true. But anyways, there's still an entire team of individuals that were under him that are privy to all of these pieces of information. It's not just Comey the God, who the all-knowing one person. Do you hear how you are thinking, America? You think that Comey is running shit. You're still thinking he's running shit. You think you're nothing without Comey. Wake up! There's a whole FBI and a whole everything else out there. Okay? It is not just Comey. Hold that thought.